Hey, it's Nicole. Welcome to Nature Time at Granite Mountain. We're here today to talk about trail design and maintenance, specifically water bars. Water bars are an important part of trail design because they help shed water off of the trail, thus keeping the trail free from erosion or lesser erosion, keeping it less rocky and keeping our hikers safe and dry. So whenever a trail is built, you'll often notice that it's the path of least or lesser resistance for rainwater or other precipitation to get off of the mountainside and into a stream or water body. That's all well and good if there are switchbacks, which are changes in direction of the trail, or if there are changes in the gradient of the trail itself. So if the trail is at an angle and allows water to sweep right past. But if that's not feasible with your trail system, as we have in certain areas in Granite Mountain, we need water bars. So a water bar is essentially a dip in the gradient of the trail followed by a bump. And I realize it's a little difficult to see here, but there is one right behind me. There's a large hillside over here that collects a lot of rainwater whenever it rains, which rushes down to the trail. When it hits this trail, it's almost like a sluice. It creates sort of a creek of water flowing down. If we don't get that water off of the trail quickly and frequently, then the trail itself erodes pretty heavily. And you can see some of that erosion on this trail. So our water bars keep our trails dry and sustainable, but we do require maintenance, actually twice a year. One of those times being about now when the leaves have fallen off of the trees, but before the ground hardens for winter. So today I'm going to be clearing out this water bar, which means removing a lot of this leaves that have fallen, as well as some of the sediment that has been carried down to this spot. Otherwise, this would just fill up and up each year, and then it would almost be as though the water bar didn't exist, and we just have a river of a trail. So I want to give a huge shout out to all the volunteers at Granite Mountain who regularly come out and help maintain and protect this mountainside and create a great community resource out of this area. Big thank you and shout out to the volunteers. And next time, if you're a volunteer or a hiker coming out, please keep an eye out for our water bars, which on a red yellow trail right now are very easy to find thanks to some bright orange flags that are placed. But keep an eye out for them. So, how do you maintain a water bar? Well, you'll need some tools, and what I have today are a shovel, a rake, you can use a plastic one or a metal one, and a hoe with tines or a flat back, this has tines, as well as gloves. And what you're going to do first off while you're hiking is look for those gradient changes. Look for places where our trail builders, when they built the trail, envisioned water sweeping off the trail and into the creeks beside. So we're not looking to create new water bars. Look for the existing gradients and dips, and they should still be fairly prevalent, although it is a bit difficult to find them here with the leaves, so sometimes you might need to kick around the leaves and look for fresh sediment that they may have come down in the last rainfall. So to give you an idea of the dimensions of a water bar, usually they're going to be about 12 to 20 inches across. So picture two shovels side by side coming out from the trail. That's going to be your width. So if this is my trail behind me, I have about 2 shovelfuls of a water bar coming off of the trail. And then the depth of the water bar can differ depending on if you're on a major slope like I am on the red yellow trail, or if you're on a gentler, flatter slope that might just need approximately 3 inches. On a bigger, steeper hillside like this, you may need up to 6 inches of depth to get that water off of the trail. So that's a difference in gradient on the trail bed itself from the water bar dip. You are also going to have to clear anywhere from 2 to 4 feet out from the trail bed. And remember, as you're clearing, don't want to grab the materials and just place them 2 to 4 feet out. because then you've got another blockade and you're just going to have a large puddle right beside the trail. So make sure to try to disperse those materials out. And to give you a little demonstration, first off, when I come up to this area, I've got my flag over here. So that's one way of telling that this is a water bar, but I can also tell because I see the trail comes up to a little dip and then sinks back down over here. So I am within a water bar right now. Here's the bump and then another dip right beyond, which I realize is probably hard to see on the screen from the perspective, but look for it when you get out here. So my first objective here is to clear out all the branches and larger twigs that I may find. We'll do that real quick. Remembering to spread these branches. You can do it on either side of the trail, spread them out just so they don't end up collecting more debris and getting in the way. Alright, now my area of the water bar is generally clear of larger twigs. Now, water bar is usually going to come off a trail not at a perpendicular, but at a 45-degree angle. So picture your water coming straight down. Imagine how you could get the water most efficiently off the trail. That's going to be going with the flow and over to the side a little bit. So I'll go ahead and start clearing out some leaves, and then we'll do a little bit of sediment. If there's some final comments. So you may need to, with the trails as they are at this time of year, a lot of them are covered with leaves. So just so you're more able to see, you may want to clear some leaves from the trail itself to get a better picture of it, and then also clear the leaves in your water bar. And I have created somewhat of a leaf pile over here. I know it's a little bit off screen, but I'm going to take some handfuls of leaves and disperse them so that I don't have a large pile here. I don't end up having a puddle right here off the trail. All right, and now most of the sediment that you're going to find in the water bars is going to be fairly loose still. It's usually after years of non-maintenance that you'll really need to break up the soil. And we did have a great volunteer who helped us maintain all of the water bars here in Granite Mountain last year. So hopefully they are still pretty fresh. But if you need to, you can use your hoe to break up the soil and make it easier to remove. You may find you're hitting some rocks as you go. Throw those off to the side. We're not making a garden here, just loosening up any soil that might not already be loose for us to shovel away. And in some cases, that might be enough to clear your water bar. It may just mean taking off the leaves and picking out some sediment, and you've already got a clear space that you can envision water just slicing off the trail. But if you're on a bigger water bar like this, you may need to actually move some soil too. So, just to give a quick demonstration. I'm sure y'all have used a shovel before, but what you're looking for is not to dig down. Notice I'm not going into the soil too much. I'm just taking off that top layer that probably was carried down here within the last 6 months of rain. And I'll disperse it to the side. I'm not aiming for a huge area in here. You may clear the leaves a little bit further than your 2 shovelfuls, but really just looking for a channel for the water to come off. All right, and one last touch I'm going to do here, now that I've moved the leaves and the sediment from my water bar itself, I do notice that there's a lot of leaves just above the water bar that have probably been blocked by those branches that I cleared out of the way, and maybe just the leaves piling up over the season. So I'll move those out of the way, envisioning the water coming down, so sort of taking that slag. I don't have to do it all the way up the trail, just maybe a couple feet. And if you're going to sweep it to either side of your water bar, generally sweep it downhill, otherwise it'll just fall right back in. So those are the basics. This may not look like much, but it'll make a big difference for us in our trail maintenance long term. And also, if you feel like you haven't cleared enough, I would say when in doubt, don't clear it all out. We don't want to make huge dips or anything that someone would trip into or over. Just follow the grade that the water bar probably was originally, and you can always come back and volunteer next year and help kind of keep a watch over the years, see how much it fills up and how much you need to regularly clean so that we maintain a good amount of water flow off. And if you live nearby or come to visit often, please do come back later in the season and check out if the water is doing as intended and coming off the water bar. If you do see puddling, then maybe that's an area that we can pay more attention to in the future and clear out a little bit more. So I think that is it for our tips and hints. I'm available for any questions that you may have. And thank you so much for all of your help. This really is a community park, and without volunteers like yourselves, we would be lost without y'all. So thank you so much, and please feel free to get in touch with me either via email, nicole.wooten, W-O-O-T-E-N, @hlt.org, or call me. My cell phone is 828-302-9746. I always love to hear from y'all. So thank you so much, and let me know how it goes.